He's never fought us. Not us united.
Die. Oh! I can so see that. That's it. Welcome to Comics League, the Mandalore rewatch. So I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, dude?
Not much. Up until you corrected me right before it went to air, I would have swore this was a season finale.
It's set up that way, but it's not. But Jay, he will hopefully be joining us soon. But first off, I just want to say this episode is freaking awesome. Like, wow, man, it's in an upward slope right about now. Like, they basically made a war movie out of Mandalorians. We get to see them shoot, move, and communicate like an actual military unit. And I'm like, yes, yes.
I will say it's kind of been a weird, like 3 and 4. It seems like they kind of forgot the plot. Like they're like just kind of ignoring the season, but now they're really back into getting things, and it's interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. So basically what this episode is, the pirates, the salad head pirates, go to Grief Karga and basically take over his little area. And Grief goes to the New Republic, and that's your first mistake, because remember, this is the First Republic that's setting up the First Order, because they're de-establishing their military force like freaking morons.
Well, no, it's from what I believe, the First Order was birthed out of the Imperial Remnant.
No, but what I'm talking about is that the reason why the First Order was able to sweep through everyone is because the New Republic had demobilized their entire military. They even referenced it in the really long episode, because they said, oh yeah, we're decommissioning our entire fleet.
Yeah, and then also with like the Ranger guy, like he's saying something's happening. The Imperials, they're reforming. I think it's pretty clear that we're seeing the very beginnings of the First Order.
That's the First Order, absolutely. That is indisputable, the First Order. But all right, so what did you think of seeing Zeb from Rebels in this?
At first, I was like, "Is that him?" And then you heard his voice, and it's like, "Yeah."
He looked actually pretty decent for visual effects. I'm like, wow.
It kind of had an uncanny valley thing to me. Like it didn't look exactly quite there. But it was very clearly Deb's voice. It was very clearly him. And the thing is, at first I thought it was just like another member of his race, but as soon as I heard the voice, it's like, yep.
Yeah, you can't dispute. As soon as you hear that voice, you're like, yeah, it's Zeb. There you go. So he rolls.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that like they would kind of filter out in like the Rebels and the New Republic, you know.
And so then that pilot shows up at the Mandalorian covert, and you're wondering, how did he find them? Well, Mando's R5 unit was his old R5 unit in when he was a pilot for the Rebellion. So it's kind of cool they linked that. They says, hey, listen, guys, we need help. Grief Karga needs help, and we can't intervene because we're the government and we can't do anything. So he leaves. They have like a circle time around the fire with the speaking hammer, and Mando gives an impassioned. That's what that was, right? Mando has an impassioned speech. Then Paz Vizsla stands up, and at first they make you think he's saying no, we shouldn't intervene or anything like that. He basically asks, okay, so I asked, why should we risk our lives again? Pause. Because we're Mandalorians. And then he basically goes into, I may have disagreed with Din over here, but this guy saved my child's life. Yeah, I'm fighting alongside him.
Also, I think even he realized just how good of an opportunity this is to like step out of the shadows and like, it's like basically you'll go to a settlement that wants you there. Like, it's very mutually like this is very much a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Yeah, but and also so that's another part I forgot. This harkens back to the previous argument I think episode 1 when Grief says, "Hey, I'll give you a tract of land and you can live here in peace." So basically the idea is we're not going to live in the shadows anymore. We'll live on this planet and will protect it too. So the Mandos load up in Bo's ship. This was one of the coolest parts ever. Jeez. I'm so jazzed up for this episode. So the plan is...
to do? Mm-hmm. You need to make a fan edit of like that scene, but set it to the Halo theme, like do 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 do.
That's not a bad idea.
Come on, that is so you. That is so you.
So anyway, the plan is Mando is going to distract the pirate ship so it can't bombard the town anymore. So he distracts the pirate ship. Bo comes in, and it is an orbital drop, Titanfall style of Mandalorians. The bottom of the ship opens, they just drop.
Prepare for Titanfall.
Yeah, like in the trailer for Mando. I was like, where are we going to see this? And the best part, you have these pirates patrolling. They have no idea what's coming. They look up, boosh, right in the face. They get like torn apart by these Mandos. And the best part, the way these guys sound, they sound like a military unit. They're like, okay, everyone rally up. Team 2, are you on your objective yet? Team 2 lands. Team 2 moving toward the courtyard. And I'm like, this is so cool. I mean,
they're Mandalorians. They're a warrior culture. I mean, I'm sure they're well trained in these tactics.
But I've never seen them Star Wars characters actually do like the shoot, move, and communicate like actual soldiers. And I'm like, oh, this is so dope. Plus, we've never seen
right up your alley.
We've never seen Mandos like actually communicate together and see what would they be like in combat, because we've seen them from a distance fighting. And by the way, I'm just going to interrupt real quick. This is officially my favorite episode of the entire series. This is it. This is freaking it, boy. So,
well, there's 3 episodes left, so there's plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, but we'll see what the finale is. But anyway, so going back, it's this epic fight, and they intersperse it to like this epic like canyon run dog fight, which was pretty cool and made me think, now this is pod racing. So
no.
And then I love this. The Mandos are like patrolling, and all of a sudden, like those Jabba monkey creatures are pointing out where the pirates are because the pirates have been shooting at them. So they're like, "Screw you! They're right over there." And the Mandos again are like, "Possible ambush, take cover." And I'm like, oh, "This is so." As a military nerd, I'm like, "Oh, this is so good."
Did you make sure to clean up afterwards?
Yes, I did. So anyway, I had lots of Kleenex near me. But anyway, so they're pinned down, and this is the one ding I'll give in the episode because they're surrounded. But I'm like, you have jetpacks. How are you getting surrounded?
Well, to be fair, they could always go like, boom, boom.
That's what. Yeah, it's true. But so they're pinned down, and then Paz shows up with his minigun, and he just lights these dudes up. And then the pirates show up with a cannon, and you think, oh no. And then the Mandos are like, oh yes. And because what you don't know is behind you, the armorer shows up with her armoring tools.
I love that scene.
Dude, this was so dope. Because first she completely tears apart. She's chucking her hammer at them, and I'm like, again, this is the second time she has kicked ass with her forging tools. So remember when she took out that squad of stormtroopers?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. She didn't even she had no guns or no jetpacks. She had no like flamethrowers or anything. Just those 2 tools, and she kicked ass. And I love the final shot of that scene is that she hits the guy and he just falls off the balcony, and there's Paz watching. And they just charge in, and it's like an epic Saving Private Ryan scene, except the US now is like wearing bulletproof armor, and then Mando and Bo just take out the pirate ship, and then okay, the day is saved. Greef Karga gives land to the Mandalorians, and then something happens that's actually interesting. Paz goes to Bo. The armorer wants to see you. So she walks down to the old covert. She walks to the old, and they're playing the old song from when Mando first shows up there in episode 1 of the whole season. That was the same song that played every time you walked into the Mandalorian covert. So I was like,
yeah, that I will say I'm not quite sure what the armorer's game is. Like the whole walking in 2 worlds is like I feel like it's just kind of a narrative.
I'm getting there.
Oh,
so she shows up. And then Bo goes, you want to see me? She goes, yeah, take off your helmet. And then Bo's like, What?
At first, I thought the armor was trying to set her up. Be like, "Oh, you've removed your helmet. Oh, who are they going to believe, me or you?"
So she takes off the helmet and she goes, "Hey, listen, we have to follow the path of the way. All Mandos do, but we have to leave room for all Mando. We can't afford to." Basically, what the armorer was saying is, look, we can't afford to be so set in our ways that we're allowing division in the Mandalorian ranks. Look, we'll keep our helmets on. You can do whatever you want. You're still a Mandalorian. We can't afford to say you're not a Mandalorian anymore.
It kind of feels like the armor is playing a game, especially when you get that twist at the end. Oh
yeah. So and then the armor comes out, and then first all the Mandalorians are like, "She took off her helmet," and then Armor says, "Yeah, I told her to do so because listen, she's supposed to be the bridge between."
She didn't go out and say it, but she very clearly inferred it.
Inferred what?
That she told her to take out the helmet and that she decreed it. She didn't directly say, "I told her to take it off," but she very, very, very clearly
implied it. But yeah. But basically says Bo-Katan is going to go out, rally the Mandalorian clans, because fam, we're taking back Mandalore. And immediately I was like, I knew this was going to be it. I knew this is what the main plot is going to be. And then, just when you think it's over, we cut to the New Republic fighter pilot. By the way, this scene was well done.
It's like a post-credit scene, except it's pre-credits.
And you know what's kind of interesting? This scene reminded me of something out of Alien, the way it was done. It was so well done. So the X-Wing pilot's flying. He comes across a Lambda-class shuttle, an Imperial shuttle. Well, former Imperial shuttle. It's a New Republic prison transport. So his droid deploys the probe, and as the probe is going in, again, it's like in Aliens, because he's watching on the scanner. He sees blaster marks, bodies floating. But this was the prison transport for Moff Gideon, and he's gone, and there's Beskar embedded in the wall. Now, what I thought of, weren't there a group of Mandalorians that were loyal to the Empire and Rebels, the Super Commandos?
Actually, yeah, I was actually watching this thing. There was a Pacific clan. But here's my theory. Mm-hmm. Notice how it's just that one tiny fleck of Beskar. If there was going to be Beskar being left, wouldn't there be more pieces? It seems like someone planted it. All right, while I do this, could you look up the Imperial Friendly Clan? I can't remember the name. It almost seems like it's planted, like they want to misdirect.
The Imperial, hang on, the Imperial Super Commandos. I mean, the exact clan. I think it's the Saxon clan.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah. Because it was led by Gar Saxon and Governor Tiber Saxon.
Right. So, I'm looking it up right now.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's Clan Saxon. So
yeah, it's Clan Saxon. So we could get live action Gar Saxon. Oh, and by the way, so important interaction in that scene when the armor says "take off your helmet," she also reveals, "Okay, so you said you saw a mythosaur. This is a sign that it's time for us to come back to Mandalore." So I'm like, everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. I'm basically
also it's interesting that she's propping up Bo-Katan as the leader of Mandalore when I'm pretty sure the armor knows of her history of failure.
Yeah, but I think she figures it'll be different now. And also interesting, she doesn't have the Darksaber.
That's the other thing. Remember, Mando has basically had the Darksaber this entire time. By decree, by right, Mando is the ruler of Mandalore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that, because there's plenty of time for them to resolve this. But okay, so that's the basic plot of the episode. Now let's get into our favorite parts and everything. But basically, my favorite part is from when the shuttle comes out of hyperspace to the end of the episode. to when the Mandalorians leave to the end of the episode. That's my favorite part.
Okay.
It was so odd. There's a scene where a Mandalorian is on a pirate fighter shooting at it as it's falling out of the air and then he jetpacks away. I'm like, oh, this is what I wanted, because we've gone so long since we've seen we haven't seen Mandalorians coordinated and fighting as a team since episode 3 of the entire series. And I'm like, and you hype these guys up to be total badasses, and I'm like, this is why.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you don't mess with Mandos. But Nick, you've heard me go on a big nerdgasm about this. Your thoughts?
Mine would probably be Paz's heel turn, where I thought, like, you know, he was just going to be, you know, in opposition, and then he literally did that heel turn. I was like, oh, well, to be fair, his heel turn makes perfect sense. Don't mind you. But, like, it just still came out of nowhere, and they did a great misdirect.
What's interesting, and I was about to say, the way they did it, because they tee it up like, oh, he's going to blast Mando and say, no. And then I would have said, but he saved your freaking son, asshole. But he immediately turns it. It goes quiet, too. It's like quiet, and he goes, because we're Mandalorians, okay? We're going to go do this. and then again we have that group. This is the way. And because of that,
this is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
This is the way.
The way. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is very much the way. Like, oh my gosh. Again, that armorer fight scene. Armorer fight scene, dude.
Yeah, so good.
Oh,
so good.
It's got kind of hot in here. Jay Heat!
You forgot my intro, but what's up?
Well, I don't play the intros on this show. But so your thoughts on this Mando episode? Nick and I have been going crazy talking about it.
Oh, it was so good.
This action scene, dude, that scene where the armorer walks into that room and like completely destroys those dudes with the hammer. She's chucking it. Dude, we got a Mandalorian Titanfall moment.
I guess she just flat out said, "It's hammer time."
Yeah, but oh jeez, it's just like this was so cool. Mandos are actually on the pirate ships, like blasting them as they're falling out of the sky. If you wanted to see Mandalorians doing badass crap for 40 minutes, this is what this episode is.
So I guess every one of them were like, so anyway, I just started blasting.
Yeah, exactly. Everywhere we start blasting. But
that's what she said.
But so Nick, so Jay Heat, more of your thoughts. Go.
Oh man, with 3 episodes left in the season, you could really tell this is ramping up fast.
Yeah.
Something tells me season 3 was I'm not gonna say season 3 was the only filler episode. I'm not getting my hopes up, because with a series like this, you're bound to at least get 2 filler episodes, at least 2. Mm-hmm. But this did not feel like filler. If it is filler, I would be shocked.
No, because it's directly
there was no filler, all
retake
thriller.
Mandalore.
Also, that Mythosaur is I gotta give credit to Jared on this one. He called out this theory, and I'm giving him credit. That Mythosaur will play a part in the final battle.
Because guess what? They're going to Mandalore now, so there's no Gideon shows up, he lands, it looks like it's gonna not go that well. Then Bo-Katan emerges from the ground on a Mythosaur. That's my theory. Because this solves our debate. Because remember last week when we were talking about it, you said, how are they going to get the Mythosaur to where they are? And I said, they're going to Mandalore.
Yep, you get all the credit on this one.
Everything is going as I have foreseen.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Yeah.
We are going to hear on the post-credit scenes for this season, we are going to hear Snoke's voice.
Oh God, no. Well, we have to because
the sequel setup.
Remember, so the first Star Wars Force Awakens is set 30 years after the Battle of Endor. We're now 10 years after the Battle of Endor. So, and it was already implied that they've been fighting the First Order for a while before the Force Awakens. So I think we're about time where the First Orders start, like they're already clearly starting to make some moves, very clearly.
So,
and I think at some point in this series, we're going to hear or see Snoke, or we will see. We might even see First Order, like stormtroopers or whatever.
Well, they hinted at Snoke in the filler episode when they're talking about cloning. So, Jahi, your thoughts on Zeb showing up in this episode?
I was awfully surprised.
Yeah, the CGI is a little wonky, but when I heard that voice, I was like, oh, because that's someone that just started a rewatch of Rebels. I'm like, I know that voice.
And remember, it is confirmed that both Ezra and Sabine are coming back for Ahsoka. Why Sabine hasn't shown up in Mandalorian, I have no clue.
But you know, it's kind of interesting. That whole scene.
Remember, Sabine is a Mandalorian. She's from Clan Red. Why is he not here?
That whole
Simple.
scene.
She's been chasing Ezra for 10 years.
Yeah, that whole scene when they're panning onto that Republic outpost, it seemed to me like a scene out of Apocalypse Now when the camera always pans into like a small helicopter base.
I mean, literally, they had the Quantico huts, you know, like the half circle.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting like World War II Vietnam vibes from that base.
I have been seeing this theory making the rounds, and how if they do find Ezra, it's literally going to be like a most dangerous game type scenario where he's gone mad. Like, say if he's on, they find him on Korriban, where he's completely unhinged, grasped with the dark side, and they're practically just hunting him while they're trying to talk him down. Like, he's trying to kill you. Like, how would that even make sense?
Like,
remember, Thrawn is supposed to be part of Ahsoka as well. So,
but it's interesting. They did say the World Between Worlds is gonna play a factor. So actually,
they're not going to use the World Between Worlds to retcon the sequel trilogy. They don't have the balls for it. They don't have the balls.
No, well, they might when Kathleen leaves.
Okay. Let's kind of talk about this real quick because I don't care. So I was actually watching a Midnight's Edge video, and apparently Kathleen's fate is tied to Indiana Jones because like this is all like rumor, so take this with
rumor.
Grain of salt. Okay, just being out, you know. So apparently Bob Iger is getting fed up with all the concept reshoots, and I guess he put a hard deadline. If Indiana Jones does not make at least $900 million, he will be fired. Like, there is no like graceful exit. He will be fired, and her legacy will be tarnished.
Wait,
like Bob Iger,
she's leaving either way.
I gotta say this.
Yeah.
Assuming this is true, break out the champagne because that movie's gonna flop.
No, dude.
No. I already know this. When Kathleen Kennedy is fired, I'll be like, "Ding dong, the bitch is dead."
Yeah. If that happens, I'll be singing na 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 na. Hey, good. But anyway, so she's gone. So basically, the way I understand is that she's gone either way. It's just if Indy fails,
I don't know about that, but that's just what I saw on Midnight's Edge earlier today, where because I mean it's I mean it's obvious that like Disney is kind of going through a shakeup. Like you know they fired Victoria Alonso and like they've been
time
people.
They fired Ike Perlmutter, which I didn't even know he was associated with Marvel.
Wait,
still.
what?
Yeah, they fired Ike Perlmutter.
Well, no, Ike Perlmutter.
I never thought I'd see the day.
No, Ike Perlmutter was involved. He was part of Toy Biz, and he bailed out Marvel in the '90s. And he came along. He was really the one leading the charge for the MCU for Phase 1, 2, and a little bit of 3. And then basically Disney restructured to where Ike only had control over the comics and the TV portion. Like that's why we got like the Inhumans the way they are, and he was the one kind of leading the Inhumans charge as a replacement for the mutants. That was a Perlmutter directive. Yeah. So his power has been greatly reduced for about, I'd say, 10 years now. But
more
he
on
still
that
had like
in
a
Comics League Dark. More on that in Comics League Dark, because we're definitely gonna be talking about that. Because
okay,
but
which I sadly will not be there because
yeah,
might as well get his sentiments out now since he's not going to be there Friday night.
But Jahi, how about this basically being a Star Wars war movie?
Aren't they all war movies?
No, but this one is actually a military operation.
What is a good war?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like the way they drop it in the Mandalorians are like possible ambush, take cover, and I'm like, geez, this is so good. We got some wrist rocket action.
No, I got this. Stand by for Mandalorian.
That's good.
All right, that's a solid one. I'll give you that one. That's solid. But so Nick, actually no. So again, I just want to talk more about the fact that apparently the armorer is a badass and doesn't need guns or any type of equipment. All she needs is her forging tools. Because she freaking whipped that hammer at that dude and went boosh.
I guess you could say she laid the smack down.
Yes, she did. She did very much. And then that guy just falls off the balcony and just falls. And you just hear, I'm like, oh yes, this is so good.
I mean, we always knew the armor was blunt, but this is it's getting ridiculous.
You could say that she was a little too blunt to that guy. Really, she's very direct.
Yes.
That guy really got and you notice a bunch of those pirates walking around, they were really hammered. But anyway, you know what I also love?
I mean, literally, they were drinking, they were hammered.
I had to, but how about those Babu Frick aliens?
It's like an onion. It has so many layers, but it still stinks.
Yeah. How about like those Babu Frick aliens that when the pirates get killed, they're like, yay! There's just so much in this episode because it's exactly what a Mandalorian show should be. Mando is just wrecking stuff.
You notice how the IG-88 statue is still not whole? He will be back. IG-88 is going to be back.
I see it.
Maybe.
They're still working on him, but I just don't think they'd start the side quest of like, oh, he needs a part, and then just abandon it. Just use it as a means. Well, they did,
because remember, he needed a part for the droid, so it could be like his survey droid. He goes to Tatooine, and he picks up another survey droid.
But that's really bad writing. It's very bad writing.
Well, it could be, which is a badly written episode.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm allowed not to like that plot point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. But, again... And so, all right, so let's talk about theories. What happened with that shuttle at the end of the episode? I've heard from Nick. Jay Heat, I want to hear from you. What are your theories?
It might have crashed, but we won't know anything sure until next week. I want to say there was
if it crashed, it would have crashed into something. It was very clearly an extraction. So
they even tell you it's an extraction.
So me and Jared were talking about this before you came in. Basically, what I feel, and I feel like Jared probably would agree with this was an extraction done by Clan Saxon.
The Imperial Super Commandos from Star Wars or Rebels, in other words.
Huh. That would have been first we get Zeb, then we get a direct Rebels callback. Wait, didn't one Imperial go on to live with Zeb's tribe at the end of Rebels?
Yeah, it wasn't a Super Commando, though.
Oh. I forget his name.
Yeah,
he wasn't really relevant.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so I think it's the Imperial Super Commandos, or it's just Mandalorian mercenaries. But I'm leaning more toward the Super Commandos angle, judging by how many freaking Rebels references we have gotten.
With that many Rebels references, you think Jake and Hera would have been in this episode, or at least mentioned.
Rumor has it Hera's going to be in Ahsoka.
Hera does show up in Squadrons, so she does exist post Return of the Jedi. So we know that she's around somewhere. She is actually a character you can interact with in Star Wars Squadrons.
And if you look at like the clips of Ahsoka that were shown at like Star Wars Celebration a couple of years back, they show the back of Hera.
So, question. I never actually finished Rebels. Did Kanan survive?
No, he dies.
Okay, he actually full on dies. Okay,
he dies, but then all of a sudden this Force wolf shows up, so everyone's like, well, maybe his spirit was transferred into the wolf.
No, that was just a symbolic comfort for the inevitability of death.
So
okay.
I don't think Cal is going to show up in a post Return of the Jedi timeline, because that would just remove any tension from any of the Jedi games.
Oh yeah,
he's
gonna live then.
I do think if they do an Obi-Wan season 2, we might see him then, or an Andor, we might see him in Andor season 2. I could see it in something set during that time frame. Because Obi-Wan actually takes place before Jedi Survivor. Because remember, the Grand Inquisitor is actually a villain in Jedi Survivor, and so that means the Jedi Survivor takes place before Rebels, because Rebels I think takes place 5 years before A New Hope.
Okay, the Grand Inquisitor is Utapawan, so he has multiple stomachs. You would think a fallen Jedi youngling would know that. I just can't stand Reva in the Obi-Wan. I just can't. I personally can't stand her.
You would think, wait. Not just a fallen Jedi, someone that works with him.
I mean, to be fair, Disney has seemed to move on from her. Like, you notice how they have not mentioned her at all.
Not even merch. Remember they tried to crowdfund her lightsaber and it didn't reach funding? If they had just called it an Inquisitor's lightsaber, I think it would have funded.
Or even just called the Grand Inquisitor's lightsaber, it would have funded.
Yeah, because it's the same. It's the same.
It's the same model. No one cares.
It's not like it's unique. It's not like it's Luke versus like Anakin. It's just, but that's besides the point. Trust me, we'll have a stream where we go on Star Wars rants. But in the meantime,
you know what I want to see, where it's going to be really hard to put this in, but like, I want to see a live action Force Unleashed starring Sam Witwer. Like, it would so break the canon, but like just adapt.
It'd be worth it.
Like, oh my god, can you imagine just like making Star Killer canon and like having Sam Witwer? Like, he would do it in a heartbeat.
He would so do it, and you know what? I'd be fine with that. Jeez, forget. I don't care about canon in that case. Just do it. But okay, so I want to talk about theories for the rest of the season, because we have about 3 episodes left of Mando. We're on this was episode 5. Now, I think at least one of the episodes will be Bo traveling and recruiting the other Mandalorians, or we'll at least cut back and forth to it.
So filler. Okay, we've accepted that.
So I think in that's when we might get a Sabine Wren cameo. I think I feel like there's no, like, if you're trying to unite all the Mando clans, it just makes sense that Sabine should show up. Like, just like there's no like she's a Mandalorian. She's playing Ren.
She knows Bo. It could be Bo goes to her and says, "Hey, we're gonna do this," but Sabine is like, "No, I'm looking for Ezra." Name dropping.
Fair enough. It's one scene. Everyone gets their fan service. You get to see live action Sabine Wren. You know, it's just because like Bo-Katan literally knows Sabine Wren, and so just what other? Also, we're gonna see Boba Fett again. I think he's gonna try and recruit him. You know, he might agree to help, but he might not.
He shows up.
Didn't he become a crime lord on Tatooine?
Yeah, he's a daimyo. He's basically took Jabba position, but he is legally a Mandalorian. Legally,
like a bantha.
Now I remember the Power Ranger speeders. Thank you.
He shows up riding a bantha with his Power Ranger speeders, his teenagers with attitude.
No, they meet clandestinely, and he shows up riding a bantha.
Yeah, or no, he's on one of those scooters. He's like, "Oh, I like this thing."
Oh no, they're not going to have their Power Ranger people. No, but I could see the show creators be like, "Why don't we show him have him show up riding a bantha just as the joke?"
And then if he shows up in the battle, he's on a Rancor.
Okay, I don't think they'd be able to get that in a ship, but you know,
episode
you
6
definitely could.
Here's my prediction: episode 6 will be a filler episode but it'll be mostly recruitment. You get the live action Sabine Wren chasing after Ezra and a little Ahsoka tease,
and drop a tease of Moff.
And a drop a tease of Moff Mothma as well, and to have the final battle be a two-parter between episodes 7 and 8. I think that's the safest route.
I think what'll happen will be cool is that the rest of the Mandos go to Mandalore and then they secure it, and they have to basically hold out like the Alamo because the Empire is coming down. It's going to end right. Part 1 ends right when like the battle's going really bad. Then part 2 opens. Oh yeah, I brought the clans.
Are you just pulling an endgame right now?
Kind of, but I feel like episode 6.
I feel like the pirate threat is done. I think.
That's a one and done.
So it's not gonna be pirates. I knew it was gonna be pirates, but and I think because here's why they kept saying they didn't know what happened to Moff so many times in the episode in the season. So I was like, yeah, something happened. That's gonna pay off in like the last. It's not gonna be. Why would they do that? Mm-hmm.
I really feel like the season is going to end. Moff Gideon's not going to die, but it's going to find out that he answers to someone, and it's either going to be Snoke or someone.
Mm-hmm. And I think Mando is actually going to someone. Maybe Mando is going to actually take him to the New Republic and say, "I had to do this myself because he got away last time." Here,
like, okay, let's speculate. So, what character could Moff Gideon answer to? It could be someone from Legends that they could bring in, like an Imperial character that's famous. I can't,
Good idea.
I mean, they could show Thrawn. He could be working for Thrawn.
It can't be Thrawn because he's gone right now.
I mean, Thrawn is going to come. Here's the thing. We know Thrawn is out there because, remember, Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn as of Mando Season 2.
Well, actually, wait.
He literally name-dropped Thrawn. He literally name-dropped.
No, I know that. You could say that Thrawn's actually not like Thrawn was found, and he found like the Imperial or remnant. And he's the one that Moff has been answering to this whole time. It's like he goes, okay, if you kill me, you'll never find out where. It's like let me see. Yeah, it's pretty much like Thrawn was Moff's master this whole time.
Okay, how about this?
You could say
Thrawn and
that,
Ezra stumble upon Exegol.
Jay was talking first. What?
Thrawn and Ezra stumble upon Exegol.
Yeah,
if you're gonna go with the sequel tease, go all in.
I know. What were you saying, Nick?
Exegol, that's not gonna happen. I think even Disney knows. Okay, fine, we'll lead up to the sequel trilogy, but we're not gonna deliberately reference the things people absolutely hated.
Mm-hmm. Which was everything. I think what they'll just do, they'll set up the sequel trilogy and then leave it at that.
The only way that we get a full-on retcon is if Kathleen Kennedy is gone. Like,
yeah, if she leaves, watch. If she leaves, all of a sudden that world between worlds thing is gonna all of a sudden become pretty big.
What I think might happen is they'll probably just do a branch of the timelines. See, the thing is, if they announce like a new sequel trilogy kind of thing where they're redoing it, what sucks is Harrison Ford is not going to come back. You can probably get Leia is obviously she's passed on. Mark Hamill would probably come back if you did the right things. Here's how I would do a sequel trilogy. Okay.
All right. We'll talk about this real quick. Go ahead.
Basically, it's the Jedi Academy trilogy. Where you bring in Kyle Katarn, you have Luke basically doing the training, and yeah,
that works. As a matter of fact, because you think about it, the Han and Leia don't really show up in at least Academy from what I played.
And and so it's like I would literally just do a Legends adaptation, Mara Jade, because I don't know if you ever read the Jedi Academy trilogy, because it's got like he has on Yavin 4, you got Kip Duron, you got like Exar Kun kind of shows up.
Wait, is this
it's
the
pretty
Sinlin
good.
Ball, or is that a separate storyline?
The Yuzon Vong is like way in the future. That's
Okay.
I would love to see that though, but
Come on, that would be awesome.
See, the thing is, the thing about Vector Prime, that first New Jedi Order, is they killed Chewie in that one, and there's no way they're gonna kill the one character that they can have in perpetuity. They can just put a different person in the suit. They're not gonna kill that character.
Yeah, but and I think what they could do, here's how you could also do it. You could do like Han and Leia, or like retired, and then you have like their kids.
Yeah, and like I said, redoing the sequel trilogy entirely, I don't think they're gonna do.
But I think what they could do, they won't like undo that. What they'll do is that they'll just do a diversion of the timelines, or in that scene, the world between worlds, something will happen, kind of like a flashpoint that just stops everything from the end there, and they just say, gone.
I mean, like they might, like if they're continuing to do their TV series, they might just kind of continue on to the point where it's like they're in that timeline. They just kind of do a different thing. I can see them doing it in TV form, but as a full-on like trilogy of movies, they're not. I think the best we can hope for is like, oh, so the sequel trilogy happened in broad strokes. Like maybe instead of Rey, Finn was the Jedi, or stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, change certain details, make it a bit more appealing.
Yeah, like I could kind of see them like kind of shaking things up a little bit and saying like, oh, certain things happen,
yeah, or they could just now do movies in the Old Republic.
Can we please get a Darth Bane movies, please?
Darth Bane. I want a Darth Revan movie. What are you talking about?
Just adapt KOTOR.
Pick certain like choices that have to go a certain way. Well, we already know canon wise basically what happens if you read like any encyclopedias.
Well,
just
the thing is, Knights of the Republic is basically a 3-season show. You've got season 1, which is the Mandalorian Wars. That's basically like I would actually do 2 seasons. Season 3 is KOTOR. Basically, season 1 is the Mandalorian Wars.
Yes. Season
2 is Revan as a Dark Jedi, and then it ends with like the battle on where Bastila captures him. Season 3 is KOTOR 1, and that just plays out like KOTOR 1. Maybe they like probably light side Revan or something, I imagine. And then season 3 and season 4 is KOTOR 2.
That works. I agree.
Like that. Yeah, 100%. That
like it would be a little shaky where you suddenly have a whole brand new protagonist. But
not if they explain it, because what they could do I'd
make it a spin-off. I'd title it KOTOR Exiles.
Or what they could do is in between is like one like season. And in other words, move the Knights of the move the KOTOR 2 stuff forward a season and make season like I think you said 4. Make season 4 the book Revan, because that actually introduces the exile character.
Okay.
So at least that way it's not like all of a sudden we're following this exile instead of Revan.
So we're doing like so basically you just want a bridge season. Like
basically.
That's what that kind of is.
So we're doing a 5-episode run where season 4 is a novel and season 5 is KOTOR 2.
Yeah, because that novel also is a send off to Revan. Because remember, in that novel, he vanishes.
Yeah,
unless you're counting the SWTOR RPG game where he's a slave to issue.
Don't do that, and change the story so he doesn't get captured by the Sith.
I mean, okay,
give him a happy ending.
They did do Revan dirty and the SWTOR RPG.
Oh, it was so bad. Like wasn't the story where like he basically fought, like he actually goes to Droman Kos and like the Emperor basically mind controls Revan of all
exactly.
Like,
oh, and by the way, he basically has it, and then it gets worse. He has a Superman Blue and Superman Red moment where like the two parts of Revan separate, and I'm like
I get that the Emperor is probably more powerful than Revan. But Revan is still really powerful in his own right.
You're talking about a dude that has force healed himself from death.
if you go through other flashpoints and other storylines that sync everything together, he was betrayed by the Emperor's wrath. Then he was and he was kind of in a suspended animation while he.
Oh my God! I betrayed Revan. Sorry. My main in KOTOR is a Sith Juggernaut, a Sith warrior. So like, oh my God! I betrayed Revan.
But
sorry. I had a fanboy moment.
But yes, in other words, do what the fans want you to do from now on. Get rid of Kathy because she obviously has no idea what the fans want, and like bring in Revan.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because here's how I can see them announcing it. After she leaves, they do like it can either be a Comic-Con or like the following Star Wars celebration. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are on stage talking about Star Wars, and they're like, okay, so we actually have some information regarding the next Star Wars movie. It's going to be a prequel to the prequels, like really far in the Old Republic era. And so then
we're doing a Darth Bane series, and Dave Bautista is playing Darth Bane.
Well, yeah, but wait. Here's my announcement. And then Dave Filoni has a backpack, and he goes, actually, I have basically what we're doing in this backpack. He reaches out and he takes out a Revan mask.
No, it's even better.
Hold on, here's
No. He pulls out a copy of Knights of the Republic for the original Xbox.
Yeah, and he goes, oh, yeah, it's pretty much this.
No.
Even better. Wait,
no.
I was starting first. Hang on. He was doing they had to do the mask because guess what? The game is only like a season of the show if they go with our system. So he would have to take out the mask and say, we're doing this.
No, I got you.
The game. Go ahead.
So we have this thing coming out, and basically you have someone come out in full Revan regalia, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's like, Revan, reveal yourself to the world. And so you literally hear the music from that scene in the game, and like he actually like takes the mask off, and it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can you imagine the crowd?
That would be an announcement.
I got an idea. You get like this kind of like this. I don't know if you could get like a doll or like some makeshift like puppet, and it's modeled to look like Kathleen Kennedy.
No, they're not.
They're not going to do that. But I want to hear Jay Heat out. Go ahead.
Okay. Before we make our announcement, first of all, pay attention to the doll, and then I would kick it across the stage.
You basically punt it off the stage.
As nice as that would be, that is a level of vindictive that no court that would open themselves up to lawsuits. That is
actually, what I would do. Here's what I would do. I would basically adapt that idea, but instead of a doll of Kathleen Kennedy, it's a trilogy box set of the sequel trilogy. I'd be like, okay, see ya, boosh.
I mean, a match would do just the trick just fine.
Well, if you want to get out your frustrations on Kathleen Kennedy, just read Screecher.
Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, you know what else I would do? I would take out a lightsaber, Revan's lightsaber again, bringing it in the Revan's. I would just smack the DVDs and go,
you take out both of them.
Yeah, both of them. And I'm like, and I'd be like,
okay, you're just
hey John, pull.
No. What I would do is for this next announcement, we need a little bit more mood lighting. You guys change it up, and then it goes from red, like half of the stage is lit red, half of it's lit purple, and everyone just lose their shit because they know it's happening.
What they could do, they have three. They could do that, but they have three really big TVs behind them, and all of a sudden, you on the purple side, it's like a red lightsaber blade. I mean, on the red side, on the purple side is a purple lightsaber blade. And all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh yeah, here's our announcement," and the Revan mask materializes on the middle screen.
Okay, let's play a game. Let's play a casting game for KOTOR.
And we're almost done.
So who would you have to play Vastala? I would say Alexander Daddario.
But should she be older because she's close? Shouldn't she be a little closer to Keanu Reeves' age?
She was pretty young. And Alexander Daddario, she's not she's not old, but she's not young either. She's like in her 30s.
Pick Amber Heard because it's so fun to annoy her. Look at Nick's face. Look at Nick's face. Worth it. But anyway, seriously, okay. I mean, yeah, you're right. I could kind of see that, but if I could pick, honestly, who I would cast as Bastila, and Jay Heat is sharing
actually,
screen, so
my other pick would be Jenna Coleman. Whoa.
Who's Inception, Streamception. Who's
So Jenna,
Jenna
if you ever watched Doctor Who, she was
I'm
Clara
sorry,
Oswald on Doctor Who.
No, again, I don't watch Doctor Who, Nick. I don't know how many different ways I could. Yes, this would be what I would be doing at the Star Wars celebration. Yep, that would be me.
So just remember, this character is the actress is like British and whatnot. And when you see like the look of her, she could definitely play Bastila when you see the look of her.
Honestly, you could do Keira Knightley.
I want her to play live action Save, because remember, Darth Vader and Mortal Kombat have Save in it.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
This is Bastila. She could play Bastila.
Let me look up how old Bastila is in KOTOR.
But just look at this actress. For one, she's got the British accent because Bastila does kind of have that British heat accent, and looks wise, she could definitely play Bastila. I mean,
20 to 25. Okay, so yeah, I could see that.
Wait,
y'all didn't get how old is Revan?
Y'all didn't get the clip I tried to send?
No, I did. I did. We played it.
But don't you agree? She definitely looks like she could play Bastila.
Yeah, she could pull it off.
She could pull it off. It's just
she's an amazing actress, and she's got that British accent.
Okay, you're right. Revan is 38, and Bastila's like 20 to 21. So wow, that's an age gap. But okay, that could work. But
so Alexandra Dario, well, I think she's a little bit older than that, but she definitely looks like she could play early 20s still.
Yeah, she still could, and plus, it's really fun to see her annoyed in movies. So again, I'm playing off of that because that's my favorite thing to do in the game. Just saying that.
Mission, Chloe Grace Martinez.
Yes, Hit Girl.
I'm sorry,
yes.
She's got that personality, that kind of spunk that for Mission.
I'm pretty sure this is KOTOR 2.
Who plays Candrass?
Candrass Ordo. What about the guy from Avatar, the general guy?
Quaritch? You could Stephen Lang, maybe actually. That's actually not a bad choice, really.
Who would play Darth Malik?
Darth Malik. That's a good question, actually. As a matter of fact.
Well, I'm casting Batista as Darth Bane.
Totally good. Totally fine with that.
He's perfect for Darth Bane. You got it.
Absolutely. But if we're talking about Darth Malik, it has to be somewhat. Well, here's the thing: the voice doesn't really matter because he's a robotic voice anyway.
For Joe Lee, I'm casting Dijon Hunsu. The guy from Guardians, the Who.
Yeah.
He's perfect for Joe Lee.
And the Wizard from Shazam. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Who would you cast as the voice for HK?
You could really get anybody for HK.
You could really just go to the old voice actor. Hey, do you want to come back and voice this character?
Hello, meatbags.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Wait,
who'd you cast as Karth?
Karth. That's a hard one.
Mm-hmm. You could cast the dude who played Kaden in Mass Effect. The exact same voice actor. I'm screwing with you guys. I want to see if you would catch that.
Yeah.
No.
I want to see if you would catch that. But
we did, but no.
I was gonna say Nathan Fillion, and he plays him like he's Malcolm Reynolds.
Well, at that point, you might as well just cast Chris Pratt. I'm trying to think of the crew. Obviously, Zalbar is not going to get cast because it's just a Wookiee.
It's just a Wookiee doing a suit, so that's fine.
I'm trying to think of the rest of the crew.
Who plays T3? Who plays T3?
I mean, T3 is just Beeps and Bloop. So, Industrial Light and Magic is going to be playing T3.
Yeah. Who plays? What's the name of that girl that you recruit when you're trained to become a Jedi?
The other Jedi character, the Cathar character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I never really much interact with that character. He always just kind of stayed on the ship.
Yeah, she guards the ship. That's what she does.
Literally, my go-to team was usually Mission, because she's just so useful as for opening locks and computers, and she's really good with blades.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
absolutely.
And then like it was usually Mission and Canderous, so that was usually my go-to team.
Normally, what
Canderous
I do
was awesome with his regenerative health.
No, yeah, exactly. Mandalorian. Normally, what I do is I have a Jedi character, which that can be my character, so it's really no issue. A character that has really good tech skills, because what I need to do is I collect landmines, because if there's a hard boss battle, I'll just have mission engage or stealth, have a bed of landmines, make the person charge at me. This is how I beat the Rancor, and it just runs across landmines.
Technically, T3 is better at like the technical stuff, but his combat stuff is iffy at best, honestly.
Not the best, but okay.
And
so
Mission is
I have
like
a good thought experiment.
Like Mission is really good. Like sometimes I'll use Zalbar because Zalbar is really tanky. Like it's because like usually what I do is I have two characters up front using melee, and then I have a character in the back usually like shooting or using grenades.
Yeah. I have another thought experiment we're going to do before we wrap up. We're going to take the Snyderverse actors and cast them in the Knights of the Old Republic movie. Henry Cavill is Revan.
Keanu Reeves would be a better choice.
No, we're taking the Snyderverse actors now.
No, I get it, but again, Henry.
I think Ben Affleck. I honestly think Ben Affleck would be a better Revan.
Okay, I can't do that because then Gal Gadot would obviously play Bastila, and
Wonder Bat,
and I cannot have the Wonder Bat thing. I cannot have that. You're staying on the bottom this time, dude.
That's what she said. But
you can't escape the Wonder Bat.
Actually, wait, shut up. Ben Affleck as Malik because he has the voice changer.
Oh, come on, that's too easy.
Hey, it worked.
Actually, the Deathstroke actor is Malik.
Which one?
No, that's Canderous.
Okay.
Joe Manganiello is Canderous Ordo? Hell yeah.
Okay.
And then
I just gonna say this one more time. Wonder Bat.
So, and who would you? Okay, so obviously Gal is gonna play Bastila. Who would you cast Momoa as? Because he could also play
HK-47. I just want to hear like
Jesse Eisenberg as HK-47.
Too easy.
Okay. Wayne C. Carr as Jolie.
Okay. Ray Porter as Malik.
I mean, we're doing a race swap at this point, but okay.
No, Ray Porter, not Ray Fisher. Ray Porter. Ray Porter's the voice of Darkseid.
We'll use the old ways.
Yeah.
No, Ray Porter as HK-47.
No, Ray Porter as the Emperor.
Because I want to hear Ray Porter go, wipe this pathetic planet from the face of the galaxy.
I don't know. I feel like Ray Porter is... I almost called him Thanos. I feel like his Darkseid voice is a little bit too intense for
we could change
Malik.
it. And so...
But just quick fan cast. Who would be a good Emperor Vitiate in live action?
I'm curious. Know who
that is. What's his name? He plays Tywin in Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Charles Dance. Like, I'm sorry. He's like my cast. Like, if you need like a commanding older figure, Charles Dance is like my go-to. But Charles Dance as Emperor Vitiate, I think, would be perfect.
Now, back to my thing. Who plays... I could see Jenna Malone playing Mission, essentially.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can
Mm-hmm.
see that.
She counts because she was in the BVS Ultimate Edition.
She was
the only edition.
Where?
They cut her role out, by the way. And by the way,
wait, is she in the movie? Like, is she actually in the movie?
She's in the Ultimate Cut. This is
Where?
why. Okay, so you would know this if you actually watched the Ultimate Cut, like I told you to.
I have watched the Ultimate Cut.
It was in a scene where Lois is investigating the bullet. She basically tells Lois, "Hey, listen, this bullet is not from around here." And then she goes, she has this fantastic line. Lois goes, "So the government, so someone's trying to like frame Superman," and then Jenna Malone goes, "You know what's really cute? How this stuff still surprises you." It's really good.
I'm gonna have to look this scene up when I'm done.
You have to, dude, because she's definitely in the movie. So
I mean, I am a Jenna Malone fan.
To the point where people thought she was playing Carrie Kelly. She's not, but okay. Well, although she would play a good Carrie Kelly.
Wait, what was she? Who was she playing?
She was just playing this. I don't think she was like playing a character or something like that. I forget exactly.
It could have been turned into Carrie Kelly probably pretty easily, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. So okay.
And remember, she was in Sucker Punch, so she was on Zack Snyder's radar.
Yep, she was. Okay, so so now we're gonna so here's my cast for the crew. Henry Cavill is Revan. Ben Affleck is gonna play Malik because you have Batman versus Superman again. Gal Gadot as Bastila because suck it, Super Wonder Superior. Jason Momoa as the voice for HK. Joe Manganiello as Candace Ordo. Anyone for T1 because it's an astromech droid.
What about Karth?
Karth. All right. Which Snyderverse actor plays Karth? That's a good question.
Ray Fisher?
The dude who played Jimmy. The dude who played the CIA agent.
He barely had any lines.
There's no one else that's young enough to play Karth.
Well, there was one.
I gotta say, the guy who played Martian Manhunter should be Jolie.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah. Harry Lennox, hell yeah.
I will raise you a Ben Affleck as Revan. One, come on, as Ben Affleck. And two,
I'm not doing the Wonder back casting.
What about Zod as Malik?
Shut up. What
about Zod as Malik?
Oh, dude! You could get the Man of Steel battle at the end of the movie.
Henry Shannon as Malik. Yes.
I don't think his name is Henry Shannon. I think it's Michael Shannon.
That's Michael Shannon.
You're actually right.
Thank you. But yes, I would love that. You could have no. This is perfect. As an Easter egg to Man of Steel, you have Malik go, I will find him. Actually, in which case, hang on. So I have this clip because I downloaded a bunch of clips for Nick's show. That's why the branding changed. So I actually have to do this. So
I will find him.
I think I gave you that clip.
Yeah, you did. So, but yeah. So that would be. I would want to have one of those scenes. That would be hilarious.
I imagine you're stealing that clip and putting it on your show proper.
Most likely, probably a lot of those things I'm doing. Like I regret nothing and nerds. But in terms of, obviously, I'm thinking of who else can we put on that I haven't used yet.
Well, there is the Flash.
No, what if we extend it to just Snyder movies? Like for example,
Snyder movies. Okay, that's good.
Like we include the cast of like Watchmen, Sucker Punch, 300.
All right, that works. Gerard Butler. Who Gerard Butler played? That would be a decent Revan, as a matter of fact.
No, he wouldn't be a good Revan.
No, I don't see it.
How about Candace?
Definitely Kendrick.
Who would play a good Kreia?
Ooh, that is a good question.
What about the one who played Martha Kent? I could see her as a good Kreia.
And by the way, I would say Queen Gorga as Hippolyta. No, I'm sorry. No, because already she's. But what I meant was she would play a decent Bastila.
As the actress for Hippolyta?
Lena Headey.
Too old.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think of how well, actually, so we can pick up a bunch of people to play on the Jedi Council, because remember, they're important in this game.
Vaguely.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, yeah, it's true. But
I think they're only relevant for like one mission. Maybe two.
What about the bounty hunter that like tracks you down from Terrace? You fight him.
Calo Nord.
Yeah. Joe Magliano.
You mean Manganiello?
Yeah.
He's playing Candrass.
Okay, so that's out. Trying to think here.
You double cast, so he's shooting at
no,
himself?
Rorschach, the guy who played Rorschach.
Yes, that is perfect.
Trying to think of the other prominent side characters from KOTOR.
Who's the actor who played Night Owl on Watchmen?
Patrick Wilson.
Ocean Master. He's played Ocean Master.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's also played Night Owl in the Watchmen movie. It's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who would he could play Karth, actually.
Yeah, he can pull it off.
Well, let me put it this way, Nick. Of the options we have available to us, he's the best option.
What about Gerard Butler as Karth?
I'll give you that.
Gerard Butler can play Karth's commanding officer.
No, commanding officer has to be older.
Oh yeah.
Gerard Butler, he kind of strikes me as a person who could still hang in the field.
Yeah. So who would Gerard Butler play? I'm trying to find
Karth. Karth.
Could he play Karth?
Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad option. If you can't put him as Candrass because Joe Manganiello is already playing him, yeah, that actually works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a bad option. And obviously we could keep Joe Manganiello for KOTOR 2 because it's the same character. You might as well.
Yeah.
I
need to get back to my KOTOR 2 run because I was playing on PC with the restored content mod. I need to get back to that.
Mm-hmm. But so I think that's a good place to leave it. The point is, this was a badass Mando episode, and we actually got a fair amount of content, so I'll title it appropriately. But so, boys, where can one find you, and what have we got coming up for your channels? I'll start with Nick.
Well, I just released the latest episode of the Super Split Screen Brothers. I'm sure Jared will have a link to it in the comments below.
And then, by the way, I think you have something to tease that could be starting back up soon.
Oh, yes. So, since Jared has had a shift in his schedule, starting not this week, but next week, is the return of the Friday Night Frenzy. Ha ha!
Heck yeah,
so
it's
gonna be a it's like just a chill hangout through me, Jared, and some very special guests. You know, me and him are gonna be the hosts of it and whatnot. And more details to follow. I'm actually gonna be driving 3 hours up north to do a Comic-Con. I have an aunt that lives kind of in that area, so it'll be a working vacation. So I won't be on CLD, but I will be on for movie night, and I will be in a different location next time you see me.
And Nick, by the way, so do you want to give the audience a quick, 1-sentence review of Captain Marvel?
This shit.
I'm going to have to bleep that, but appropriate. Thank you.
Well, stay tuned on Saturday when we react to Justice League.
Oh my gosh, I still can't believe I have to watch that movie.
You're gonna be bleeping a lot on Saturday. I'm just warning you.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, did you hear
literally? You're just gonna also if you bleep me.
Well, I can't do that because it's gonna be a live stream, Nick.
Oh, that'll be even better.
Oh, but for this one, since this is recording, could you put the Captain Marvel symbol over my mouth when I curse?
No.
When they just do bleep, and it's just it has the Captain Marvel symbol over my mouth.
No. Come on, it's just for one frame.
That's too much for me to edit. But anyway, so
But I will say this, Nick, have you heard Ben Affleck's recent interview?
Yeah, we talked about that. Me and Jared were talking about that.
Oh man, I missed it. Okay.
Also, Courage enjoyed
Courage,
Mando.
What's up? So Jay Heat, what you got coming out in the channel? And my mouse is hovering on the remove from stream button, so don't you dare do what I think you're gonna do.
He's gonna do Wonder Pet.
What do you think I'm gonna do? But yes, Dynamic Duo is coming up with my brother Kid Takeoff, our collab show. I recently was on his channel for Power Hour, So be sure I'll share that in the Discord. So be sure to check that out. And of course, the Tim Drake the Tim Drake Night Owl redundancy videos coming up, and just more content for the channel. Oh, and since I regret nothing,
I saw that coming. I saw that coming, dude.
You saw that coming?
Yeah, I did. I saw that coming.
What exactly was he trying to do again?
He was
going to say how
he was going to start chanting Wonderbat a bunch of times, and don't you dare, Nick, because I will pull out of the
Wonder Rat, Wonder Rat, Wonder Rat,
Wonder Woman and Rat Man. What are you talking about?
Wonder Rat. Wonder
so
rat,
in that case,
rat.
we're gonna call it a. That's what she said. Nice one. So we're gonna call it there, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this extra long, action-packed episode. So I'm gonna turn this into a thing. We may actually turn this into a full-on Star Wars podcast. So we'll see what happens with that.
May the Force be with you, Wonderbat. Yeah.